Greetings everyone, this is Alt Lexington with part 21 of my Agent of Yesterday leveling. It's been about a week since I played this character, so I'm just going to have to familiarise myself with where he's at. I think we'll be playing the episode called Mine Enemy in this video, unless there's some housekeeping chores to do. Okay, he seems alright here. His inventory is nice and clear. Nothing to do here. And his ship is still in its... Oh, I remember now, it's part torpedo build. And the loadout's still holding. And the stations are still good. Everything looks ready to go, really. Just check my officers. Okay. Everything seems good. We haven't got access to reputation yet. The trait system hasn't opened up properly. Oh, and we've got a space point to spend. I haven't used this character since I last logged on about a week ago. I took a little breather from him. Well, I was planning to go tactical ultimate on this character until I can determine whether I want to stay that way once he's leveled up a bit. So let's spend that space point and, well, shall we finish off the tactical ultimate stuff, or shall we give him something else? What the hell, I'll give him the tactical ultimate just to finish that off. So he's ready for team matches. It's going to take me a while to get familiar with him again, because I've forgotten everything about him due to playing other characters so much. Anyway, Mine Enemy. The unusual gravitational harmonics of the planetoids of the Horta system are believed to be due to the elongated elliptical orbit of Horta 2. However, Federation researchers in the system have recently detected something that could be a dark matter nebula. The presence of an anomaly of that type could be affecting the harmonics of all of the planetoids. The Federation Science Council is constructing a Metreon fountain on Horta 1 in an effort to learn more about the nebula. So that's a little information about the solar system we're about to enter. But we might as well just get straight on with it. Unusual for me, I usually have a lot of housekeeping tasks to do. Captain, the Remans were targeting a magnesite mine in this area, but the list we recovered didn't have its exact coordinates. I know we're in the right area, but all of the moons in this system are inhabited and our sensors are being affected by the magnesite. We will need to contact each moon to try to determine which one the Remans were actually targeting. Now, he's talking about Remans, and I'm finding it hard to remember what I did in the last episode. So, let me just have a look to recap what episode I played last, before this one. Ah, we played the Vault, where we were tracking down Phaleron triggers, I believe. And it was our second encounter with Obisek. Okay, now I'm familiar. And the first step is to locate the magnesite mine. That's what we're looking for, a magnesite mine. Because the Remans were looking for it, apparently. But targeting it. Well, I'm a Starfleet officer, so I see magnesite ore that needs scanning, so let's get a scan satisfaction. A little bit of speed. Oh, that's some good scanning there. It's been a week since he scanned anything. He must be getting desperate, this character. Any more to scan? There's something over there. We can go to that in a minute. Hail Moon. Well, I can't pronounce that. You're stuck your nose in our business for the last time, Starfleet. All ships attack. Uh-oh. Well, that's the first moon scanned. And Orions didn't like our presence here. Almost forgot this character isn't using the keybind. Like my other characters are. More magnesite ore. Lovely bit of scanning going on there. Now let's scan Moon. Well, I guess there's another one I can't pronounce. Ah, there's more scanning over there to be done. This moon is private property. No solicitors, beggars, or Starfleet allowed. They're not very hospitable around here, are they? This is a dangerous area, and it's only gotten worse since the destruction of Romulus. It might be difficult to get someone to trust us. True. So now let's go. Oh, we've got a scan here before we go to the final moon. It's always the last one, isn't it? And more magnesite. Okay. Moon coal is that? Oh, there's more to scan, is there, or is it just pointing me in the right direction? I think it's just pointing me in the right direction. So let's hail the moon. Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite? We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please transport to the surface. Yep, looks like a Ferengi's set himself up here. Madron. Unfortunately, the large amounts of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know you Starfleet types are so fond of your away teams, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface? My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you? Well, that depends. We are ready to beam down at your command, Captain. Okay. So we're bringing Tarsi. Well, I'm going to change her for Temet, because Temet's a vicious bitch. I like her with a minigun, as they call it, even though it's bigger than the other guns. Okay, while that's loading, I'll just check my recording software, make sure it's okay, which it is. Okay, here we are on a mine, and we're supposed to talk to Madran, but there's a person behind us with a mark with an interact button, so we'll talk to this person first. Talk to Roy. Did you need something? What are you doing here? It's a long story. After the destruction of Romulus, I joined a group of colonists looking for a new place to settle. We chose to form a new agrarian community on Viranat, a pastoral world on the edge of Romulan space. Our colony was attacked and destroyed. I managed to evade the attackers and get off-world with a small group of people. My luck ran out here, and I've been stuck ever since. That was the world we visited, the Viranat colony, where the Romulan characters begin their journey after they've been created by a player. What kind of work do you do? I'm a biochemist by trade. I specialize in, I don't know that word, hemocyan, a division of hematology working with copper-based blood. On Viranat, I handled a lot of issues related to food compatibility and local biochemistry. These days, I mostly handle minor medical issues and nutritional deficiencies for the people living here. I've managed to stay out of debt, but I can't afford passage off this moon, and I don't know how long that will last. Have you heard of anything strange locally? This whole mining facility is nothing but strange. That Ferengi, Madran, rides everyone hard to make a profit, but just when it looks like things will get too bad, he turns around and does something generous. Folks have occasionally disappeared, and not by leaving on a ship. People here for weeks or months will suddenly vanish. People talk about seeing strange things or being kept out of parts of the mine by the guards. There's something deeper in those mines, I'm sure of it. Okay, thanks for the information, Romulan. I'm going to explore around a bit because this is quite a big map if memory serves. And there are lots of things to explore around here. Please don't. Well, we might pick up a mission or two to deal with some of this stuff. Oh, look, it's Doggy. A Rorigal. Domesticated. This map seems to have moving parts. Ah, there's another person to talk to here. Who the hell are you and what do you want? Please, have you seen my brother? So we've got a choice of responses here. Tell me about your life here. Maybe I can help. How long has he been missing? Why isn't it safe to be in the mine? Is there anything else I should know? Okay, let's start with this. Tell me about your life here. My life is unimportant. It's my brother. I can't find him. Maybe I can help. How long has he been missing? I last saw him 2 days ago. Madran assigned both of us to work in the upper level of the mine. Toshin's drill bit broke, and he needed a new one. I know I should have went with him. It's not safe to be in the mine alone. Now he's gone. So his name is Toshin. Why isn't it safe to be in the mine? There's a group of people down there who treat the mine like it's their own. I don't know why Mandarin tolerates them, but they make life miserable for the rest of us. They steal and they terrorize the weak. Once I saw them dragging a woman into the lower levels, and I never saw her again. She wasn't the only one. Many people have disappeared. I thought if my brother and I kept our heads down that we would be safe, but maybe they took him. Murderers, if they've killed my brother, I'll kill them all. Well, that sounds like a Romulan. Is there anything else I should know? If you go into the mine, watch for the silver spheres. There are creatures in the dark, devils. They are made of stone. Nothing can hurt them, and their touch burns. I have seen them moving around in the tunnels. Anywhere you see the silver spheres, the monsters are not far away. Okay, thank you for the information. So it sounds like Mandarin is taking advantage of these people's desperate situation by working them as hard as he can for as much profit as he can, but not letting them get wealthy enough to leave, but not paying them enough to leave, to afford to leave this colony. Also, there are rumours of people down in the lower levels of the mine that Mandarin just tolerates for some reason. And there's also monsters made of rock, made of stone. Let's just thoroughly explore. Go away! Hey! What'd you do that for? Oh, I've got a sword. There, killed you for no good reason. And I'm trying to holster my sword, but it wouldn't holster. So I just killed someone. I hope it wasn't that guy's brother. I knew he was there from previous plays of this mission on other characters. I was just hoping for an accolade or something. Ooh, scan. Got a scan. Got to get back in the swing of scanning. I don't normally do it on my other characters. Anyone else who needs to be spoken to? Oh, there's someone over there. Might have to go through all this talking to them again at some point. Hey, who the hell are you? Jolan True, stranger. Have you always lived here? My family and I have been here all of our lives. It's a hard life, but is all I know. My mother used to tell me tales of the homeworld. She'd talk about the plazas in Rateg, or vacations she spent with her father on the shores of the Apennine Sea. And she would tell me about my father, who gave us his place in the military evacuation ship so she could live. He never knew he had a child. She would tell me stories, and later, when she thought I was asleep, she would cry. So when Romulus was about to be destroyed, her military father gave his pregnant wife the seat. She was the child. Tell me about Madran. He charges us too much and pays too little. He is like everyone else in this world, out for himself. But he doesn't let us starve, and if a child needs medicine, they get it. Many here grumble and hate him, but I cannot. If I were in his position and his life was in my hands, can I say that I would act differently than he does? What can you tell me about this area? Stay in the settlement. Don't go into the mine, and whatever you do, don't leave this area. I do not wish you harm, stranger, and there are many dangers here. There is a group. They rule the mine, and they are dangerous. Even Madran fears them. If you avoid them, they will ignore you. Defy them, and they will turn on you. Last week a good man died because he would not give them what they wanted. He was not the first. There are many monsters on this moon that you would be wise to avoid. Outside the settlement there are packs of wild animals. If you take a warrigal from its mother when it is very young, it can be tamed. If you wait too long, they are savage. Packs of wild warrigal roam the edges of our settlement. Often they prowl the refuse piles looking for scraps of food. A pack of warrigal can kill even a strong man. You must be careful when you are in their territory. And they are not the only monsters here. The miners tell stories about creatures made of stone who can burn you to cinders. I have not seen one of these creatures myself, but I know that many people who enter the mine do not leave it. Have you seen anyone else suspicious around here? You are the first outsider I have seen in a long time. There is no reason for anyone to want to come here. So it seems like there are two factions on this planet. There's Mandarin and his miners, and another faction deeper in the mine that kidnaps people. Plus there's two other dangers here. There's the warrigals that aren't tamed, and the creatures made of stone in the mine. That's obviously the mine entrance. Another person to talk to over here. Let's see if there's anything else. No. So who the devil are you and why are you here? We don't see strangers here very often. What do you want? Tell me about your life here. What can I say? We exist. I mine because there is nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I am lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota, and Mantram pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep. If we don't make our quota, there's nothing. Even if I do have latinum, most of it goes to Madran to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Madran to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Besides, where would I go? Tell me about Madran. Every morning the first thing I do when I wake is curse that Ferengi's name. Madran found this moon about 2 years after the destruction of the homeworld. Most of our equipment was broken or useless. The supplies were gone and we were starving. After some negotiations, Madran had his contacts and we had food. We're supposed to be working with him, but he is the only one who benefits from our labour. Madran owns the only working ship here, so no supplies come in without him. He negotiates all of the ore contracts, so most of the latinum goes into his pocket, and he sets the prices for food, medicine and equipment, so everyone here owes him more than we can ever repay. He owns us now. I hate him for that, but I can't live without him. Typical Ferengi. Do you get help from the Empire? The Empire? Bah, what Empire? Our Empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld. If you're rich or in the military, then maybe there's something. I hear that the people in Seela's shining city in the Rator system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there is nothing but dust and regrets. The Federation has sent aid. We want to help all Romulans. I have heard this, but I have not seen that it is true. Are you going to go to every Romulan on every world and hand them bread? Because that is the only way you can help all of us. The strong take from the weak. Seela and her ships are strong. The Tal'shiar is strong. Your aid goes to fill their bellies and heal their wounds. Starfleet, not mine. Okay. So the aid isn't reaching the people. There's a scannable there. Get out of the way, Ferengi scum. Any more scannables around? No. Now, before we talk to Madran, let's just have a look about, see if there's anyone else to talk to. I will defend myself. Not very well, apparently. When I try to holster my sword with the H key, it won't go in. Oh yeah, well, it just took a while to load that animation. Before I talk to Madran, I'm going to look around a bit, because I believe there's other things to discover around here. Give us everything you've got. Nice. Very well. I wouldn't want to live on this world with all those asteroids. They could constantly be coming down onto people. Ah, look, there's something over there. I might break the episode by playing things in the wrong order. Let's go up the top, see if there's an overview. What's this then? It's going to take me a while to get back into the swing of this character. Oh look, a Warrigal, a wild one. Blue Warrigal. Can I kill you? I'm enjoying playing with the sword right now. Accolade, Pharaoh of Phasers. I don't know how I got that because I'm not using a phaser. So what else is here to look at? Nothing. Maybe this wreckage comes into it later. I know it does at some point, or at least it did on my engineer character. Whereas this character is a tactical, so you might get a different mission. Oh, more Warrigals to kill. You never know, you might get something for it. Whoa, nice moves. Nice spinning moves he's got. I'm enjoying this sword. What is it? What kind of sword is it? It's a Tsunkatsi Falchion or something. I don't know. I can never pronounce any of these words. These names. Now, I believe, if memory serves, there are some accolades for jumping on the roofs around here. Or there was a long time ago when I played this episode on other characters. They might have removed them since then. Yep, just a quick accolade hunting look around. Nope, no way to get up there. Well, she got up there. No, nothing there to look at. You never know, there might be something. I doubt it would be a damage accolade though. You don't get extra damage these days for playing this game. Yep, nothing up there. Oh well, that's enough accolade hunting for now. Nothing to find. Nothing easy anyway. I was sure there were accolades. Let's talk to Madran anyway. On behalf of everyone of this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Hivar. As you can see, we don't have time for pleasantries, and I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business? Of course, I've heard you are an excellent source of magnesite. What makes your mine better than the others in the sector? Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need. Do you have any more information about the mines themselves? I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty place, disagreeable business, and I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who live in my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale? Thanks, but I'd like to talk to the miners first. Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it. I have a few questions before we conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Okay. Madran won't answer any questions about why the Remans might be targeting this place for fear of scaring us away from any possible sale. Perhaps if we ask some of the locals about what's going on here, they'll be able to provide more information. Well, we've already asked them all the questions we can. But there might be more people to talk to. So Madrin provides housing, food and medical supplies for the miners, and also whatever they mine, he will find contacts to sell that stuff to. He finds people. The miners will mine the ore, and Madrin will find people to sell it to. And in exchange, he provides them with food, shelter, and medicine, but not enough because his prices are super high. But he doesn't deal with the mine itself. The miners do, and they fear another group that's in the bottom of the mine, a group that kidnaps the miners. I believe that's how it is, and there's also a monster down there made of stone. Question miners. Let's question this guy. We haven't questioned him yet. Talk to Romulan Surveyor. I'm sorry, I can't really talk at the moment. I have to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft. Is there anything I can do to help? As much as I'd appreciate someone else to lug around this heavy equipment, it's all very delicate and I'll only trust a capable scientist to help me. Science training is required to complete this optional objective. If I encounter someone who can help, I'll send them your way. So that's the science optional. We need a tactical optional for a tactical character. Let's try and find someone we haven't spoken to yet. I think he might be the guy with the tactical optional. So I'll talk to him after I've talked to this guy, which I think is the engineering optional. Talk to drill operator. I don't have time to talk to you right now. I need to repair this drill so I can make a living. Is there anything I can do to help? Not unless you know an engineer who'd be willing to take a few moments of their busy schedule to help me fix this hunk of junk. Engineering training is required to complete this optional objective. If I encounter anyone who can help, I'll send them your way. So we've checked out the science and the engineering optionals. Now let's go and do the optional that's meant for this character, for this tactical character. Talk to bullied refugee. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run, and if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too. Tactical. Is there anything I can do to help? I need someone who's not afraid of a fight. There's a group here that are beating and stealing from us. Madran doesn't do anything to stop it. For all I know, he's getting a cut of everything they take. They're making life miserable for all of us. Would you be willing to help? Count me in. I'm a freaking hero, you know. There is a group of bullies that have been stealing from us. If we don't give them what they want, they beat us. I had a friend. All he was trying to do here was feed his family, be a good man. He had an odd bottle of ale. He said it was from the homeworld. One of those thugs wanted it. Now my friend is dead. I'm too weak to stop them. I know that. And now I have my friend's children to feed in addition to my own. But if someone were to teach them a lesson, this camp would be a better place for all of us. Okay, so I've got to go aid miners in exchange for information. Optional, help bullied refuge, talk to bullied refugee, defeat thug gangs. 3 thug gangs I've got to defeat to complete the tactical optional. So let's go kick some thugs' ass. I think I remember where some of them might be. There was one up here. Hey, thugs. It's funny how you can't run during melee. You have to stay still and do your thrusts and parries and whatever. You alright, dude? You're safe now. Not even a word of thanks? Yeah, you deserve to have your ass kicked. Okay, I believe there's another one around here somewhere, if memory serves. Yep. Come on, move forward. I don't know what would have happened. Oh, I didn't get time to read that. But at least they are saying thank you. And I believe there was a third one behind the building in the middle there. Third group. Move! My character's not moving. My character is sort of like glued during melee. So how do I get rid of this? Do I pop off as hyper? Tamet went down. Wow, that's unlike her. I thought she was tough. Return to bullied refugee. Okay. So, you pussy, I've dealt with your problem for you. Thank you. Those guys have been giving everyone a lot of trouble. These thugs are part of a large group that operates deep inside the magnesite mine. They control the lower levels, and no one goes down there uninvited, ever comes back. I don't know what's so important down there that it's worth hurting us to protect it. Maybe if you went down there, you could get some answers. Accolade, gang violence, take task force. Return to Madran. So, the thugs were part of the other faction down the line. Not part of Madran's faction. He just, because he's not interested in what goes on in the mine, he just wants what comes out of it, the ore, and to exploit the miners. Talk to Madran. You want to go into the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite, or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the latter, I know some place you can start a little ruckus. There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine. They won't even let us in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information, but lately they've been more trouble than they're worth, and the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the green invasion of Defurry space? I'll take that information to heart. Explore magnesite mine. So, we don't go to that wreckage over there. That must be an engineering optional or something. And maybe it's time to do a little bit more accolade hunting just in case. Because I swear there's an accolade up on the roof, although there was at one time. On one of these roofs. I mean, why would you be able to get up on a roof if there's no accolade up there? So let's have another go and see if we can find it. There's no more warrigals around, is there? Oh, there's some down there. Might kill them just for the hell of it. I wonder if there is a way on top of some of those buildings. I don't think we can get up there. I don't think we'll make that jump. they've removed the accolade since I last tried to get it. Or maybe my memory is faulty. I'm going to have a quick run around just to make sure. Well, can we run up that? Nope. I'm sure there was an accolade on the roof at one time. Maybe you have to do a second or a third play to get it. Ah, Warrigals. Hey, I'm just going to kill you for no good reason. Okay, Tamet. Bit of overkill there. I'm pretty sure the accolade was something about a view. Getting an overview or something. Well, either they've taken out the accolade or my memory is faulty. Anyway, I remember some more Warrigals around here. Got to do everything just in case, you never know. There they are. There we go, dead Warrigals. Obviously not. No accolade. Oh, nothing left to do but explore the mine. Enough time wasted on accolade hunting. There's very few damage accolades. Most accolades just give you a title that you can wear on your character. Okay. Ah, there's a temporal probe in here. I forgot about them. Even though this is an agent of yesterday. Let's look around a bit. Refugee miner. Tronium, not magnesite. Whoops, getting it wrong. Talk to Romulan miner. Why? Why not I just go straight in? You don't care. Let's have a look. Explore the rear cabin. Optional. Talk your way past the Romulan guard. Optional. Kill the Romulan guard. Well, if we can't talk our way past him, we'll have to kill. What do you want? I'd like to enter this area, or for you to get out of my way. I'd like to enter this area. This area is restricted. Only people, my friends, and I may enter. And I don't like you. Or diplomacy. I'm very likable. Just ask Madran. Or maybe if you got to know me a little better, you'd learn to like me. Or I wonder if you'll like my weapons. I'll try this one rather than diplomacy. Because I don't think he might not like Madran. You don't belong here, and I'm done talking with you. Leave now or suffer the consequences. It's been a pleasure wasting my time with you. Well, that didn't work, but do we get another chance? Let's try diplomacy this time. Madran, that big-eared money grabber doesn't know the first thing about what really happens here. All he does is collect his latinum and make his miners miserable. Maybe you should tell me what's going on here. This is more than a mine, isn't it? Or then I suppose he won't mind if you disappear. Okay, let's try this one. You don't belong here, and I'm done talking with you. Leave now or suffer the consequences. It's been a pleasure wasting my time. Let's try again. Obviously, there are ways to do this. No, we've got to kill him. Ah, well. Would help if I targeted him. I should really give up this melee weapon if I'm going up against enemies. Defeat hostile Romulans. Okay, you green-blooded, pointy-eared faggots, I'm coming for you. One down. Well, two down. Right, that's that. Whoa! 2 down. Oh, that's all 3. I took on 2 groups at once by the look of things. There's no crates to open or scannables, so examine campsite. Captain, there are a series of pressure plates located in this area. They're low tech, but the Romulans may have had to resort to outdated security measures because of interference from the magnesite veins in this cavern. The problem is that the magnesite is making our tricorders almost useless. If there's anything on this moon that the Remans would want to eliminate badly enough to use Baileron weapons, it has to be here. We're going to have to figure out how to use the pressure plates to reveal whatever the Romulans are trying to hide. I suspect that we need to activate 2 of them to open the door. Well, that's pretty easy. Because I remember how to do this, what we've got to do is set a rally point for this particular character by clicking that and making her stand on one of the pressure plates. And then I stand on the other one, locking positional coordinates, open the hidden door. There, that was easy enough. Now I've got to unset her rally point by right clicking on it so that she can move again. That was easy. I remembered exactly how to do that from playing it with other characters.
I give the orders here, Commander.
Uh-oh.
With all due respect, sir, there's a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and provoking.
There is much here you do not understand, Jack. The Remans need to know their place, as do you. I will not forget your insubordination, Commander. The Tal'shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders. I'll be in the command center.
Colonel, they were civilians. Their blood is on our hands.
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which, why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
Well, look what we found behind hidden door number 1. It's a secret Tal'shiar base. Find a commander's access code. Well, I'm going to switch to a gun this time, because I think we're going to need one. So, just kill everyone, it's the easiest way. I guess none of these people are friends because they don't seem to mind you killing. They don't seem to react to you killing one of them. Let's check these doors before we do anything with the computers, just to see. That's obviously the brig.
I almost feel sorry for you, but I have my own neck to worry about. I'll be joining you in there soon enough. If Hakeev has his way, we all will.
Who's that? Is that the brother we're supposed to find? Or did we already do that? Now let's check the other door. Let's not go in there just yet, even though we've been spotted as intruders. First, I want to read these computers. Read logs on True Way activity. True Way, the Cardassian terrorist group, is it? Observed from holofeed on Cardassia Prime. Data Council petitions Federation to fund Lacarian City infrastructure projects. 47 injured in bombing at University of Charlotte. True Way claims responsibility for attack. The Tapa Council passes bill allowing Cardassian government to seize assets of persons convicted of terrorist activity. Councillor Marin Akanda resigns. Starfleet sending advisors to Cardassia Prime to advise government on security issues. Councillor Ivala introduces resolution calling for Cardassia to apply for Federation membership. Bill stalls in committee. Ministry of Trade extends agreements with Ferengi to market Cardassian-made transport vessels and phaser banks. Okay. Next computer. Read logs on Borg activity. Observed from captured holo recordings in the Delta Quadrant. Resistance is futile. Oh, okay then. I suppose it is. And read logs on Starfleet activity. Oh, they're spying on us as well, are they? They're spying on everyone. Observed from captured holo feed in Earth space dock. Ooh. They've got a holo feed in Earth space dock, a camera in Earth space dock. Captain Sulu has applied for transfer to the front lines of Klingon conflict. Admiral Quinn under medical care for heart condition. Intercepted Starfleet medical records indicate that the condition is fully treatable and not a suitable target for exploitation. 7th Fleet entered neutral zone as part of a routine series of exercises. Franklin Drake heading extended operation in Eta Eridani. Starfleet Command considers new tactics in conflicts with the True Way. Starfleet intelligence concerned with rise in war profiteering by independent Ferengi and Dupterians. So they're really good at spying on my people. Read logs on Klingon Empire activity. Observed from holofeeds on Cronus. Chancellor Jompok facing increasing challenges from members of the High Council loyal to House of Martok. Alliance between House of Jompok and House of Duras is weak. Situation is highly exploitable. Recommend we seek agents on Cronus. Many members of discommendated House of Torg have been absorbed into House of Duras. KDF leadership angered by High Council's mandate to work more closely with Klingon intelligence. Thakiri forces in region massing under new leadership. Melanie Dian seen entering home of Drex, son of Martok. Gorn push for representative on High Council rejected. These guys are spying on everyone. Read logs on Romulan Empire activity. They're spying on themselves. Observed from holofeed on Rata 3. Is that where Sila's home's capital city is now? Increased power use in Royal Palace indicates that lower levels may be in use. Senator Shemek is accepting bribes in exchange for slowing progress on trade agreements. Herogen representatives meet with Sela. Riemann representative removed from Senate chamber. Opposition leader Titan assassinated. 3 reunification proponents arrested. Agents for Sealer meet with True Way leaders near Badlands. Ooh, Sealer is thinking of joining the line with the True Way. Read logs on Tal'shiar activity. That's probably New Romulus. Observed from live intelligence feed in Romulan Republic. Yep, that's New Romulus. Archaeological activity indicates that a recent excavation has revealed an unexpected high-value find. Attempts to capture colonists of putative Mo'Rihan meeting with resistance from mixed forces. Federation Starbase 234 engaging in defensive training exercises. Long-range social destabilization of Akamarian culture underway. Folian activity correlated with temporal anomalies near Azor Nebula. Cloaked assets monitoring construction of listing post in Jurat system. God, my reading is terrible. Let's try this one. Read logs on listing post. I can't read that name. Hephaestus activity. Observed holofeed from listing post in. I can't read that word, and memory isn't serving me to tell me what it is. Janak is fighting with Hakiv again. Hakiv takes shuttle and leaves base for 2 days. Long-range sensors mark his progress in neutral zone. 6 miners held for questioning. Chief Medical Officer reports 2 cases of Livodian flu. 6 encrypted messages sent from Colonel Hakiv's consul to unknown recipient recommend that transmissions be investigated further. Hephaestus. So they're spying on themselves as well, not just the Roman Republic, but they're spying on things that are happening in this particular base and keeping logs on it. That's just stupid. There's another console over here, and we can't get through that door, so we hit the unlock button, and we'll need the access code from a commander's access code, which is probably going to be in the prison area, the brig area over here. But this door's open, so I'm going in here because there's more computers to read, and we've already been spotted by these people. Is that everyone? Gonna get more. There's the temporal probe. Let's read this log first, though. Access console. Ensign Kryman is dead. Havik ordered him to explore the tunnels. We found organic remains and his fully discharged disruptor was nearby. It looked like he had been melted. I think we should wall off this section of the mine and not disturb the creature down here. 6 people have already died. 5 were miners and therefore expendable, but Kryman showed promise. I know that in time he would have been a fine officer. I asked Colonel Hakiv to request reinforcements if he's determined to kill people exploring this mine. If he's determined to kill people exploring this mine, let him kill recruits rather than promising officers, I suppose. And up here we've got We were drilling near when we broke through a wall in a chamber that hadn't appeared on our scans. Blasted magnesite, it blocks everything. Sensors, tricorders, they're all useless. The chamber is large and should be suitable for an expansion of this base. There were several spherical orbs in it. We have yet to determine the nature of these orbs, but Janek thinks they are pretty. She kept one for her quarters. I asked for permission to study the orbs. They remind me of a Federation report I read once. I can't remember the details, but it was something about the Janus system. Yep, we all know about this, but I'm not giving it away for those who haven't played this episode. So they're the orbs. Let's do the temporal probe thing first. Set the unknown value so the rows add up to 15. Okay, so 8 plus 1 is 9, so A must be 6. 7 plus 5 is 12, so B must be 3. 9 plus 2 is 11, so C must be 4. It worked. This temporal probe is tied in with the Tal'shiar data collection network. Looks like the Nicole were looking for failure on weapons research data. We can't let any of that fall into their hands. Shut the probe down. Oh, a Nicole. And there's a sneaky one there. Always go for the invisible one first. Yep. When you see that shield, there's always one Nicole. And the shielded one is a decoy. So always go for the tracer one and the shield one. Okay, Scantronium. Never go for the shielded Nicole first, because they're immune until you kill the other one. Scan a hole. Well, it looks like some kind of hole. Yep, that's a hole, alright. This hole is tunneled through solid magnesite. It's too precise to be one of the mining tunnels, and there is a slight trace of silicon residue. Curious, Captain. There are not many creatures that could do something like this. Ah, but we know what kind of creatures can. Ooh, what's this? That's probably that ensign that was being discussed in the log. Ooh, Romulan's fighting something. But, oh, there it is. Who are you? Communicate with Horta. Oh, the pain! The pain! No kill I, no kill I. This message is burned deep into the floor of the chamber. Acid sizzles around the edges of the letters. Accolade complete, no kill I. So now we've got No, we haven't got it yet, but we should have one eventually. A Horta. Now, while my inventory is open, I will click on the temporal probe and see what rewards I haven't yet claimed, because I know there was one from this episode. There we go. Collected reward for mine enemy probe. And as usual, Nakara marks. We're up to 600 now. Let's just have a look at these tunnels. That horse is a murderer, and we just communicated with it. Or is it a murderer? It's a defender. It's defending itself. Just having a look around, see if there's anything to look at. Nope. Okay, now we go to the brig and get that access code. We've already seen the cutscene. Let's go this way round first. What did he say? Captured miner. Empty cell. Empty cell. Who are you? Well, he's saying something, but I can't hear him. Must be a soundproof cell. He must have been talking people's ears off too much. Empty cell. I didn't catch that, but I don't really care because it's not important. Captured miner. That's an empty cell. Find commander's code optional. Release prisoners. Let's release them. I know if I release the prisoners, they'll be grateful enough to help me out in this situation. Because this one's going to be tough to kill. Are they all Siamese quadruplets? They're stuck together. I hate it when it does that, sticks them together. Whoa! I died. Call for help. Come on, Tamet, help me. Where are you, Tamet? She's running this way. My boff outlasted me. Question Commander Janik.
Enough! I surrender. I value my life more than the Tal'shiar's secrets. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But first you must tell me why you are here and what you want.
Why does the Riemann resistance want to destroy this base?
The Remans know about this base? Impossible. Only the leadership of the Tal'shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us. I don't believe you. But it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here, nothing more. There are many targets those Riemann scum would find much more tempting.
Diplomacy. I'll need more than your word that this base is as harmless as you say, or enough of these lies. I'll be diplomatic. I'm a Starfleet officer.
Colonel Hakeev will want my blood for this, but take my security code. You can use it to access the control room. You'll find everything you're looking for there.
Find the base's control room. So, enough of these lies would have led to me having to kill her, but sparing her life makes her give me the code. So now I go to the base's control room, which is obviously this console here. And I've got the prisoners to help me. Oh, well, there's one. Where are the others? They might have got trapped behind the door. Come on, prisoners. You mean there's only one surviving prisoner? Let me just check that. Yeah, looks to be the case. Only one surviving prisoner from that fight. Should I kill Janek? Because I can still talk to her again. But this time, kill her. Nah, let's let her go. It might break the episode if I try and kill her. Try and get both sides of the storyline. Hey, there's some people there to kill. I hope that miner is some guy's brother. Who shot me, and how did they shoot me? There's no one around the other side of this corner, is there? Somebody shot me through the wall, I think. Hakeev, I'm coming for you.
How did you find this place? What else?
Well, I just walked down the
No
line.
matter. You won't be revealing anything to your superiors. It's disappointing I cannot give you a proper interrogation. But I have much to do in little time.
Meathead.
The self-destruct sequence has begun. This base will be your tomb.
Wow. Download Tal'shiar records. The reactor is going critical. We need to get out of here, but not before we find... Okay. Escape the mine. Well, nothing to scan for, so let's do a runner. Now all we have to do is make our way out. Everybody's already dead. I don't know if you get killed if you don't make it in time. We're not on a timer, so I wouldn't think so. Take lift to surface. Confront Madran about the Tal'shiar Base that he knew all about all along. But after we've scanned, because the scannables are back, and so are the Warrigals. Well, there were some. I can see them on the mini-map. There. There's usually 3 of them. Where did Tamet go? She's obviously been left behind. Maybe she went the wrong way. Tamet, where are you? I can hear her footfalls. I think she's stuck in here somewhere. I just saw her foot. There she is. Ha ha ha. Well, we'll just have to finish off the Warrigals without her. And there is one more over there. It might be stuck in the rock, just like her. There it is. Yep, she's fused into the rock. Transporter accident. What a horrible way to live. Not die. More Warrigals over here. Yeah. Clear away all the dangerous animals so the miners can live in peace. Oh, they take a while to die. They're in different places. Another pack over here. And more over there. And it's usually free. There he is. Okay. Warrigals. Dead. I thought we stopped the bullying. No way to get an accolade through there. Oh, there's a scan here. Play the episode thoroughly. No more anomalies, so we can confront Madran. Consider yourself confronted. Mine? What have you... Mine? What have you done to my mine? Choice of responses. There was an infestation of Tal'shiar spies in there. I just fumigated, or I didn't do anything. It was the Tal'shiar cell you were sheltering. Tal'shiar, I am shocked. I had no idea. I certainly wouldn't have sent you down there if... Say, you didn't happen to find anything valuable down there, did you? Because if you did, remember that I have an exclusive contract. Stop with the lies, Madran. I know you knew who and what was down there. And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the quadrant, you know, and they're good neighbours. If you're not easily embarrassed, their cameras, our listening devices are everywhere. I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Herodians since they moved in, and it doesn't hurt that I acquire the odd bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information is big business. Do you know anything about what they recently discovered? Unfortunately, no. I admit I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janek and Hakeev were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakeev mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know the Tal'shiar take security very seriously. If you've managed to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulans into digging a new mine to replace the one you've destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined. I never destroyed the mine, I just removed the Tal'shiars. You've been a real help, Madran. Treat those miners well, Madran, or I'll be back. Madran doesn't seem to know much, Captain. Or at least he's not willing to part with what information he knows without being paid. I don't think he can help us anymore. We should return to the ship and try our luck at decrypting the files we recovered from the Tal'shiar. I'm sure that they will be more useful than anything Madron has to say. Go to your ready room or conference room and decrypt the Tal'shiar files. To reach your ready room or conference room, first exit the system. When you are in sector space, click down the down arrow on the right side of the mini-map and select Visit Your Bridge. We know all that. So I guess it's time to go. Right, so we've got to visit our ready room. Decipher Tal'shiar files in your ready room. Are we out of the system though? Yes, we are. We're in sector space, so let's go to the ready room by clicking here, clicking bridge. Okay. And wait for it to load for the first time today. Might take a while to load. Hello, computer. Respond. So, the ready room. Got to remember where that is. There it is. Across the bridge. There's to meta a post. I think it's the access library files one we want to go to, not the contact duty officer one. Decipher. What can I use this console for? We already know what we can use this for. Captain mission. Certain missions will give you files that you can examine from this console. Well, this is the only mission I can remember that has files. Anyway, decipher Tal'shiar files. 5 files uploaded. Favor communications file, Plethora communications file, Precedence personal file, Reciprocity unknown file type, Referendum communication file. This is going to take a while, isn't it? So, Favor. Activities of note in Klingon space. Emperor Kahless has been spotted in Breen space. Chancellor Jumpuk has potential adversary in Jarod. The House of Torg was brought before the High Council for commendation by the House of Martok. Shouldn't that be discommendation? The Focus Spree Battle Tournament has a new champion. We could analyze file structure, cross-reference with Starfleet records, selected from analyze file structure. No anomalous data structures found in the file is referenced by another file. Reciprocity. Cross-reference. House Tug was brought before the High Council for commendation by House of Martok. Change faulty information. House of Martok, House of Adek, High Council, Klingon Defense Force, commendation, acts of treason. Open file reciprocity. Present Porter, that's all gibberish. Apply passkey. Analyze file structure. Select new file. I'm not going to read it all, I'm just going to. Notable activities in United Federation of Planets. Federation Embassy established on Defera Prime. Federation Council extends aid to Cardassian Prime and agrees to continue Defense Pact. Klingon Federation peace talks disrupted on Regular Spy. Vulcan Ambassador Sokov retires to Monastery on Peshem. That's wrong. Cross-reference with Starfleet records. Vulcan Ambassador changed faulty information. Exposed at, because he was the Undyne. Apply passkey. We're getting somewhere. Precedence. Chain of command for Tal'shiar listing post Hypothesis, or whatever it's called. Commanding Officer Colonel Hakib, Executive Officer Janik, Chief Medical Officer Lieutenant Livor, Chief Engineering Officer Lieutenant Talaris. Cross-reference with Starfleet records. There was no reference documenting with which to compare the information in the Starfleet database. Analyze file structure. Change faulty information. Question is, which one will be faulty? Since there's no cross-referencing to do. So let's try that. Revert changes. Try that. Revert changes. Try that. That's better. Apply passkey. We're getting there. It's starting to decrypt. Select a new one. No, it's this one, isn't it? Referendum. Notable actions in Romulan Senate. Senate votes to give Empress Sela power to override rulings of Imperial courts. Ambassador Jurok visits Andoria. Freeman rebels attack transports in Iota Pavonis. Senate ratifies new tax on dilithium. Cross-reference. That one's wrong. Change faulty information. Ambassador Jurok visits. Oh, which one would it be? We're just trying one at a time. Ah, the first one was right. Open reciprocity. Apply passkey. Done. Fire reciprocity. Secret Riemann base detected in Dura system. Listing post Hephaestus has detected an increase in subspace communication and ships traveling to and from the Dura system. Analysis of communications and ship traffic reveal patterns of obfuscation normally employed by Riemann forces. The Tal'shiar forces then intercepted a ship leaving the Dura system and captured 47 Riemann civilians. The passengers and crew were summarily executed under orders of Colonel Hakib, but the captain and first officer were preserved for questioning. Under interrogation, the captain of the Riemann vessel provided a security key that could be used to decipher encrypted communications sent to the Dura system. The decrypted messages prove that there is a base in this area of space being used by the Riemann resistance. Recommendation: Tal'shiar ships should be sent to Dura system immediately to capture this base and its inhabitants. The Tal'shiar is planning an attack on a Riemann base. We need to get this information to Admiral Tani at Starbase 39 immediately. Okay, so return to Admiral Tani at Starbase 39. I think that Riemann base is the episode on the ice planet, under the ice, in ice caves somewhere. So now we go to Starbase 39, which is here.
The Tal'shiar records you recovered show that Hakib and his forces have been targeting the Riemanns for months. Obasek and his followers have been driven from their homes, had their ships destroyed and their loved ones killed or imprisoned. Some might say that Obisek's campaign against the Tal'shiar is just. However, Obisek was planning on using Thalaron weapons in the Bahar system, which would have killed hundreds of innocent civilians as well as the Tal'shiar cell there. This is the problem with revenge. Violence and fury only create more pain and suffering.
Okay, mission end. I get a Horta hatchling.
Congratulations, Admiral.
New crew. And new crew. We're being hailed by Admiral Quinn on screen. Congratulations, Admiral. You have conquered yet another milestone on the journey through Starfleet. You still have challenges ahead of you, but I am confident that you will be able to do anything you set out to do. Good luck. Cheers, Admiral. Hail Starfleet to report.
Information you recovered from the Bahar system that the Tal'shiar are planning to attack a Reman settlement in the Dara system. We have an opportunity to reach the settlement first. This may be a completely internal matter, and if so, the Prime Directive will come into play. We will not be able to interfere. But if there is an outside influence directing these matters, we must know what it is. Our encounters with the Undine and the Changelings have proven that there are entities attempting to move the powers of the Quadrant like pieces in a cow-toe game. It is essential to protecting the Federation to see these attempts for what they are and counter them. I want you to go to the Dara system and learn more about the Reman uprising. The Remans will have hidden their base, so you may have to use subterfuge to find it. One more thing. I realize this is a dangerous situation and that you may be drawn into conflict, but do not antagonize the Remans or the Romulans if you can avoid doing so. We are already at war with the Klingon Empire. I would prefer to avoid another extended conflict.
So that's the next episode. Go to Dara system, which is located in the Beta Quadrant, and learn about the Reman resistance movement. And it will reward me either a Romulan disruptor pistol or a Romulan disruptor rifle. I'll accept that. And I will end the video here because I'm in desperate need of a break, and it's been 2 hours, and I'll pick up with all this in part 22. So this is Old Lexington with part 21 of my Agents of Yesterday leveling concluded. See you in part 2. Next video. Sorry, part 22. Next video. Bye.